Hey everybody, it's Beyond Us. Myself, I'm Brett. You got Daniel and Salo. We're back. Episode 22.
22.
It's good to be back.
Guys, we're almost at 25.
You know what?
We're only 4 episodes away from a year.
I think the most astounding thing is we are almost at episode 23.
23.
So for anyone that didn't watch last episode, I did this just to piss Brett off because he was like, "We're just gonna do this every time until we get there."
Do it every time.
Yep.
Every time.
Yes, we are.
So,
I
I will say we have somber things to talk about, kind of.
we do.
But before we get to those somber things, we do want to address some stuff, some in-house things
We do.
with you, the audience, and amongst ourselves.
Yes.
Daniel, I'll go ahead and let you take this away.
Okay.
Since you brought this to our attention.
Sure.
Drum roll, please.
As we've talked about repeatedly, I stream aside from this channel on my own personal channel, and something that has been brought up a couple times, enough so to warrant a discussion, was I've asked people why they don't ask some of the questions they ask me. Why don't they save them for the podcast? And I've been told that they want to get raw, genuine reactions, and that they wouldn't be able to do that if they asked on Twitter, because I see the questions in advance. And that's true, because I am our Twitter guy. So after discussing it with Brett and discussing it with Salo, our response to that is we want you guys to be able to ask questions for all of us. And we want you guys to be able to ask questions and get a spontaneous answer if that's what you want. We are trying to entertain you, and by doing so, we need to try and work around roadblocks. So our solution is informing you all that we record every other Friday, today being the 18th of November. So 2 Fridays from now is our next recording session. Next session, I will stop checking Twitter 24 hours in advance. So you will have all day Friday to send out your tweets for spontaneous questions, if you have any. And I will check them on the spot and read them to the guys.
So you're saying that if I have questions that I want you to have a genuine reaction for, I should message that on Twitter on December 2nd?
If that's the date, then yes.
Yes, it is.
Fantastic. So,
But that's the last day. After December 2nd, you can't ask any more questions.
Ever again.
Ever again. Yeah, it's just December 2nd.
No, of course not. So, also, while we're on this topic, something that has also been brought up is I have a lot of feedback given to me personally. Brett has had feedback given to him personally. Salo has had feedback given to him personally. If you guys want to help us, leave feedback in the comments of the videos so that all of us can see them and brainstorm together constructive ways to sort those problems. Because right now, you're coming to one of us, and then that one person, 1, has to remember what you said. And 2, has to relay it in a way where it's not coming from them. It's coming from a viewer. Because as far as we can tell, we're doing fine. But if you see something different, we want to know that, but we need to hear it, all of us. We all need to know.
Not to mention, comments help the channel.
Yeah, they help the algorithm.
Even if it's just a random topic you want us to talk about, just put it in there. We'll talk about it.
Yes, that's the other thing. If you have topics, not questions, because this has been something brought up on my stream, you can supply topics. You can request a topic discussion. It does not have to be in the format of a question. This is not Jeopardy. You do not have to, what is the, Pythagorean theorem? I don't care. I don't know. If you have topics you want us to discuss, please Just let us know. If
I
we
hope you know.
Huh.
I hope you know what the Pythagorean theorem is.
No, I don't.
What is?
What is a complicated topic that I don't remember? I actually do know what it is, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm sure if you started to say it, I would be back with it, but I don't know off the top of my... I get things mixed up all the time. I can't even remember who wrote E equals MC squared. I can't remember it.
It's that one guy. His name is Einstein.
Was it Einstein?
Yeah.
I can't remember. My brain just jumbles all this stuff up. That's the one bad thing about this tumor is brain jumble.
So to wrap all that up in a bow,
Brain
leave
funk.
comments, everybody.
Yes. Leave comments.
Leave comments.
Feel free to ask your
Let us
spontaneous questions last minute. You now know our recording schedule. And try and help us help you. If you have things you want us to discuss, or you have things you want us to talk about and do in a certain way, all you have to do is bring it up, and we'll talk about it. We'll figure it out. If it's an option, we'll make it happen.
And if we don't know anything, we will figure it out.
So, all three of you that watched last episode on YouTube, comments next time. Okay, Buttercup?
All three of you.
All three of you.
Homework.
So, Brett, Salo, I expect comments from both of you next time.
Fine.
That's hilarious. You think I watched the episode.
Not on your personal
I'm just there
account.
to click on the ads. I just click on the ads for us.
It mad looked like your Piplup ran away.
He attacked me.
I didn't see him fall. I thought he ran off screen.
Dude, he just moves. I don't know why Piplup is so unstable.
It's the ghost.
Maybe. He just moves.
I see the shirt moving all the time in the background. I'm just normalized
Stop
to the chaos
that.
now. I'm just like, I don't care.
I haven't seen the
He has
shirt
a
move in
ghost.
a long time.
I was gonna send you one of those electronic
EMFs?
magnetic, and I was like, "There's no point. I already know that there's ghosts there. There's nothing to prove."
You're going to send me an EMF? That's fucked up.
Yeah,
Would you rather him send you a Ouija board?
dude.
I'd send it back.
Will you let me send? I'm gonna look for the spookiest Ouija board too.
I will burn it, Salo.
The spookiest Ouija board?
No Ouija boards in my house, dog. No. I know I look Caucasian, but on the inside, nah.
The ghost will see that. He's like, "Nah, this is the one that isn't."
He ain't fucking with me, dog. That
No,
Ouija
it's
board
'cause he's
stays
already
out.
fucking with you.
Fuck that. If I ever get mail from Salo, I'm opening it outside.
I'm gonna need your mailing address, my dude.
I'll
I'm gonna text you later.
I'll send you my mailing address. If you mail me anything, it gets opened on the porch.
Bet I can work with that.
Because if it's a Ouija board, it doesn't come inside. It gets added to the firewood.
it's not gonna look like a
He's
Ouija
just
board
gonna send
until
you
it's too
cursed
late.
objects.
What? I think my audio cut you off.
Is it a
Would you say?
shape-shifting Ouija board?
No. I say he's just gonna send you cursed objects.
There you
That's
go.
fine. No Ouija boards. Cursed objects mean ghosts. Ouija boards mean demons.
It's like
No.
every time I mail him something, I include a piece of the Ouija board, and he doesn't figure it out until it's like to all there.
That last piece doesn't come in the house.
So it doesn't count if it doesn't come in the house.
No.
Right, you have to assemble all parts.
You're gonna find like a fully formed Ouija board just on your bed one day.
I'd cry. I would cry. No. Like, let me make something perfectly clear. If I walked in my bedroom and there was a Ouija board on my bed that I did not put there, I will cry.
So tune in when we get a shit ton of subscribers. I'm gonna get him a Ouija board. When we get more than 15 questions or more per episode, I will send him a Ouija board.
15.
So there you go.
An
Yes,
That's
yes,
so
yes.
many.
There'll be
I'm
micro
not answering
questions.
all those questions.
Not to mention, that just means somebody that's an asshole like Amber could just ask 15 questions.
Just put why
Has more
15
content for
times
me.
in the comments.
Because Amber would just like to fuck with me.
I need you to understand, at the point that I'm answering 15 questions in an episode, we're no longer doing a podcast. All right, this is called a Q&A.
This is a
Be honest.
seminar.
Welcome to my 3-point PowerPoint seminar. If you flip to page 7.
Anywho, so yes, going forward, additionally, we've also talked about it. We're going to answer all of the questions kind of back to back. That way, once we start asking questions, hey, my question, if you asked one, it's going to come up here. Listen through. That way, if questions is your favorite segment or your least favorite segment, you know where to go or what to skip. Speaking of which,
let's just roll into questions.
Yeah,
since we're here.
Let's just get them out of the way. So we have 2 questions this week, both from Murphy. And one of them would have been a surprise question because he asked it like 2 hours ago.
Ooh.
Let's do the one he asked a couple days ago, though. At Beyond Us, I'm trying to learn how to play guitar, so I feel like I should listen to the best. That being said, what are you guys? What are you guys? Okay, that's a typo. What do you guys think is the greatest guitar solo of all time? It has to be Freebird. It has to be. It has to be Freebird. For legendary status alone, it has to be Freebird. It's a 13-minute solo.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
And during live shows, from what I understand, Skinner goes closer to 28-minute solos.
Solo?
So, okay, we need to address the term solo, because I don't know why it's called a guitar solo. There's always drums in the background.
Okay.
Every guitar solo I ever hear has drums in the background. Every drum solo I hear has guitar in the background. I think it's just when it becomes your focal point.
Yeah.
But in music, I would say it has to be Leonard Skinner's Freebird. Or if you're going for... Because that one's just fucking girthy. Like, it's a 13-minute solo. If you're going for sheer talent, I would probably say the guitar solo from Metallica.
Ooh, I haven't heard that song in ages.
But you know the solo instantly. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I mean, if you want to listen to some complexity, one a lot of people know is Through the Fire and the Flames.
Yeah, legendary.
Not as probably not as legendary as the ones that were just mentioned.
But legendary for our generation because of Guitar Hero.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah. I like Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix guitar solos are really nice too. So
Jimmy had good ones.
Any song from Jimi Hendrix is All Along the Watchtower has a good one. Don't know a lot, but
I just thought of this. But
if you're looking for something simplistic that is just legendary in itself, you can always go Iron Man.
Of course, it's yes. Black Sabbath, yeah.
But it's renowned.
Yes.
Great starting point.
If also, I just thought of this, but something you could also look into, Murphy. It's a movie, not a guitar solo. But I remember watching it as a child with my dad, and it was a great movie. It's called Crossroads. It's from 1986, and it's got Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid. It is a movie about a blues player that this kid meets and I guess kind of idolizes, who sold his soul to the devil to be one of the greatest blues players of all time. And Ralph Macchio wants to get his soul back. And so it's like a movie version of The Devil Went Down to Georgia, but instead of a fiddle, it's a guitar. And he challenges the devil to a guitar off for the blues player's soul back. And when I tell you some of the craziest guitar playing I've ever seen in my life, you should watch this movie. Everybody should watch this movie. But Murphy, for you wanting to learn guitar, this would be a great movie to watch. But
it's funny. 2 movies popped in my mind after you started this. Weren't that, but they were both Jack Black movies.
Oh God,
Jack Black,
Tenacious D and School of Rock.
Tenacious D is so good, dude.
School of Rock, 10 out of 10.
School of Rock's a 10 out of 10 movie. I don't care what people say.
It's great.
I actually just listened to Tenacious D the other day. Tribute, the greatest song ever.
Tribute, yep.
So great. But yeah, Murphy.
It's not that great.
Guitar solos are subjective. Everybody likes different things. But I think if you asked 100 people at a mall, at least 60 of them would. If you ask 100 people at the mall over the age of 30, at least 60 of them would say Freebird.
And one at least would say Jimi Hendrix. So
yes.
That's all I got to contribute.
And again, Metallica's one. You saw Brett's reaction when I said that. I mean, he hit you with the pucker mouth.
Pucker mouth, full effect too. Not even half effect.
But it's subjective.
Great song.
But I would recommend checking them all out. Check out multiple Jimi Hendrix songs. Freebird, one. Through the Fire and the Flames is a great one.
I might have to listen to some Metallica again. I haven't listened to Metallica in years.
Oh, I have a Metallica playlist. I listen to Metallica when I'm working out.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I could work out some Metallica.
When I was a kid and I thought I was going to be a wrestler because I was convinced I could be. I don't know what that was. We're going to move past it, Brett. When I was convinced I was going to have a future in pro wrestling, there was a song by Metallica that I wanted to be my entrance theme. I wanted Of Wolf and Man to be my entrance theme.
Ooh, spicy.
Yeah, Salo, you should listen to that after the podcast. It's a good one. But Murphy has another question for us, and this is an interesting one. He said, "At Beyond Us, Pip, which is me, for anybody that doesn't remember, that's my stream name, has been playing God of War a lot lately. So I'm curious, who would you guys cast as Kratos if they ever did a live action movie? And what about the other gods?"
Oh fuck! I thought about this already. I can't remember who I chose.
I choose Triple H.
Yeah, current Triple H could work.
Yeah, not long-haired Triple H, but current
Yeah.
Triple H. I saw a picture years ago of Triple H photoshopped to look like Kratos. And ever since then, Triple H is the only person I can think of when I think of who should be a live-action Kratos. He's the only one.
I feel like Batista, Dave Batista.
I
think his head is a little too small, though. His head is a little too small.
So, one, I can't picture Batista with a long beard. And that's what I think of when I think of Kratos now.
With a big, long,
with a big
epic
beard. Now, if you did old Kratos, like if you did when he first became the God of War, and he only had the goatee, then maybe I could get behind Batista. Do
you guys know that guy who plays the brother in Prison Break? The big.
I do know who you're talking about.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
I could see him playing Kratos. You know what I'm saying?
Kratos.
I could see Kratos. I could see he just has the to just look for it.
So I just sent you guys the picture that I saw of Triple H photoshopped as Kratos in the Discord chat.
Wow, he looks epic.
He looks just like what I would think of for Kratos.
Interesting.
For current Kratos, in Norse mythology God of War game. But if you went old Kratos, I don't know, man. It's hard to think of. I know a lot of people want the voice actor for Kratos to be Kratos because his voice is just so iconic, but he doesn't look like Kratos at all.
Who? The voice actor?
The guy that does the voice acting for Kratos, he doesn't look anything like Kratos.
Interesting.
Like, he's a big dude. He's a big dude, but not that kind of
big.
I've seen some looks from Michael Jai White that I think he could be like the young Kratos. Obviously, they'd have to go with like the ashen skin.
You have to.
Tone. You have to.
Either way, though, you have to.
You probably have. Yeah. You
so here's the thing.
Because he's the ghost of Sparta. Like,
right.
It's not like a race thing.
No, I mean he's Spartan. Like he's not. He shouldn't even be white.
No.
Like
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
No. No.
I knew you
and I love The Rock, but no.
I can
He's
see
too
the
big.
Rock playing one. I could see the Rock playing one of the gods that
He's
Kratos
too
has
big?
to kill.
The Rock is way too big to be Kratos.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't expect that. Okay.
He's too big.
Too jumbo. Okay, got it.
I could see him. I could see him being Hercules. If they went back to Greek mythology for the movie, I could see The Rock being Hercules or Heracles. I think Liam Neeson is the only answer for Zeus. It's just the only person I can ever think of as Zeus.
Yeah.
Others, they're just not coming to mind right now.
Michael Cera, he could be Hermes. He could definitely be Hermes.
I just imagined what's his not Zeus.
Who do you think?
Odin. I just imagined Mark Hamill as Odin.
Mark Hamill.
I can think of Mark Hamill as Odin. Yeah. Kind of short, kind of pudgy, kind of intimidating. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Like,
could definitely see him
he
being as like a
intimidates you with his voice.
yeah,
like
a
he
a
has the-
dickhead. You know who else I could kind of see being Odin, Brett? I can't think of his real name, but I can say his name in a show, and you'll know who I'm talking about. Metatron.
Yes,
Yeah.
Metatron.
Yeah,
He
from
could be
Supernatural?
Odin.
He
Yes,
could be an Odin.
he could be Odin. He'd be the same Odin Mark Hamill would be.
Yeah. Scheming. It's
Yes.
the scheming Odin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But no, I mean,
Which is the Odin in
in God of War.
God of War.
Yes,
That's
he's
the
very
same
much
Odin, the
just a
scheming one.
manipulative, stubborn, just butthurt all the time old mule.
Yeah.
But hurt all the time.
He is.
Mm.
So here's the bigger question, though. Would we want a live action God of War movie, or would they fuck it up?
Fuck it up. 100%.
Would they?
I think it depends on
Avatar,
who
The Last
makes it.
Airbender.
That's
Everything.
so different, though.
Absolutely. I mean,
Who would be in this scenario? Who would be producing it?
so the thing is, God of War itself has like realistic elements.
Right.
Like, it's not a cartoon.
It doesn't have to be translated, is what you're saying. It doesn't have to be.
It's
Well,
drawn to
not
resemble
only that,
real
but
life as much as possible. Obviously.
So here's the thing. Here's the difference between Avatar making its way to live action and God of War making its way to live action. Avatar was the first of its kind. There was nothing else exactly like it. And there was a lot of room for interpretation.
Fair.
God of War, same thing with Dragon Ball, when they made that live action Dragon Ball movie and people hated it.
So, for the record, there's not a lot of room for interpretation. It's you either go with the material or you do whatever the fuck you want.
Right.
Or do whatever you want.
Do whatever the fuck they
So
want.
there's that, right. But I didn't mean room for interpretation on the story. I meant room for interpretation on the execution. You know, how you decide to use the effects and stuff like that. And but there were two problems with both the Avatar movie and the Dragon Ball live action movie. Problem number one was they strayed super far from the source material, which was the only thing they had to work with, because nothing like those movies had ever been done in live action. And two, they whitewashed everybody.
They did. Especially the Avatar. Oh my god.
With God of War, you don't have to worry about whitewashing because Kratos is the only character that's not white. So you already get to cast all your white people. Congratulations, you get away with it this time. And if you cast anybody that's better for a role that isn't white, you just get brownie points with the people that want that to happen. And two, and this is the bigger thing, we have already had big live action gods fighting other gods movies. Clash of the Titans.
Percy.
Wrath of the Titans. Percy Jackson.
You want to talk about something where it worked? Immortals.
Where
you have
Clash
the
of the Titans
effect.
worked. Wrath of the Titans didn't. Worked.
I'm talking about like where like you could really dive into the special effects and abilities,
and
powers,
even
stuff like that.
Lesser things that fall into that realm. 300. We have had a live action movie about Spartans that was critically successful.
That's fair. Yeah, because that's already come out, and it's been like, what, 3 movies now? It's been at least 2.
For what?
For 300.
Did 300 get a sequel?
Yeah, they got a sequel.
Did they?
Yeah, you didn't know?
No.
I heard something about that. I'm not sure.
I do vaguely remember like a
in 2014. In 2014, they had Rise of the Empire. They had a second movie.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
A bunch of fans want Nick Offerman to play Kratos.
Nick Offerman. Why do I know that name?
He's the guy.
Oh, Brett. Michael Jai White looks good for old Kratos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck. Why do I know that name?
He was on Parks and Rec. He was the boss on Parks and Rec.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
but like
Parks and
current
Rec.
Him has like a nice big beard. He's bald.
Yeah. I could see that. Yeah, he was. Oh God, who else was he? I can't think of it right now. Anyway, yeah, I know I know this guy, and ever since he grew his beard out, yeah, he could kind of, if he'd be willing to shave his head. I don't know if he's fit enough.
No, he might not be.
He might not be.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I've never seen him without a shirt. I've seen Triple H in the last 6 months without a shirt. I know that he's still dumb shredded.
There's Jason Momoa.
I don't think Momoa would be a good Kratos.
I could see him pulling it off.
I don't. He's too funny.
I think there'd be a lot of work. Yeah, he would have to stay serious.
And I don't think he can. I don't think he
Jason
wants
Momoa?
to.
No, he probably doesn't want to, but he
like,
would
I don't,
if he's playing the role.
if he were to... Yeah, but that's why I can't see him in that role. He just doesn't take himself that serious. Kratos is a character that has to be stoic. Stoic or angry. Those are his only 2 emotions.
Yeah.
Triple H, I've seen him be stoic. I've seen him be angry. Michael Jai White, I've seen both of those out of him.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see it from Momoa. He's just too goofy. In a good way. Like, this is by no means an insult to Jason Momoa.
In a good way.
Right. He would probably pull off the look better than he would pull off the role.
Now, speaking of Jason Momoa, there have been rumors circulating that James Gunn is potentially going to be making a Lobo movie.
And Jason Momoa might be Lobo.
And that's a perfect casting. Do you know who Lobo is, Salo?
No, but I could see how... I just Googled it.
That's got Jason Momoa written all over it.
Yeah, he could... Yeah. And is this character playful, I'm assuming?
He's a bounty hunter, but everything's a joke to him.
Yeah, definitely.
Because
he
has
he's so
the
badass.
Capability of... he can treat everything as a joke. He can treat Superman as a joke.
Yeah, he's given Superman the hands before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Superman won.
powerful.
Don't get it twisted. But he gave him the hands.
He gave him hands.
In certain iterations of him, he can't be beaten.
No, he can be stopped temporarily.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's spooky.
He's a badass. He's wild.
Yeah. And he's a space bounty hunter who rides around on a space motorcycle and just does whatever the fuck he wants, whenever the fuck he wants to. And my favorite part about Lobo talks in the third person, and Lobo
I love it.
Lobo pseudo breaks the fourth wall. So Lobo will just kind of look right at you and just be like, Lobo does what he wants, when he wants. And if you got a problem, Lobo will fuck your mom. And I'm just like, wait.
That's pretty good. That's pretty badass.
So, yeah, imagine like a jock version of Deadpool with the strength of Superman.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, that's Lobo.
Lobo's great. Everything I've ever seen Lobo in, I've liked him. And Jason Momoa has Lobo written all over him. Now, the one thing I've seen is people saying, well, he can't be Lobo. He's Aquaman. I don't know how to break this to y'all Marvel fanboys that are so far up Marvel's ass you don't know how to get out of it. But Mahershala Ali was Cottonmouth in Luke Cage, and now he's Blade. We can fucking have people do the same, like do different roles in the same universe. Not to mention, with Mahershala Ali, he's still gonna look like what he looked like as Cottonmouth. The amount of fucking makeup you'd have to do to fucking Jason Momoa for him to be Lobo, you wouldn't even recognize him. Like, I just,
My God.
What?
Just like, I looked up the concept. I'm sending it to you guys.
Okay.
Just the concept of what he could look like.
Oh, it's gonna be fucking fire.
It's oh my God, it's
so
mean.
perfect. Yeah, he's
Oh.
just so perfect for it.
That looks nice. He looks spooky
Now,
in a good way.
while we're on the topic of comic books, I think it's time. I'm not necessarily ready.
I don't even think Brett's ready for this. Brett, take it away.
Yeah, it's all you, Brett.
So, as I imagine most people know by now,
Better know.
last Friday, the 11th, many people's hero passed away. The voice of many people's hero.
Voice of my childhood.
Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, in numerous iterations of Batman. Most iterations. 15 films, 400 television episodes.
Several video games.
Just numerous. He lost a battle of his own, and that was the battle to cancer.
Yep.
And he passed away at the age of 66.
Damn. I am vengeance. I am Batman. That guy's voice was legendary, man.
Yeah.
He will be missed dearly.
Yeah. So the tributes that I've seen have been heart-wrenching.
They have. Especially like a lot of the comic tributes.
So the top two that stick out of my mind that were just utterly heartbreaking was a comic-styled strip of him and Gordon on a rooftop. You sent it to me, Brett, but I had already seen it prior. Him with Gordon on the rooftop and him handing a note to Gordon saying, "I'm sorry, I lost my voice." And Gordon just kind of being like, "It's okay, we'll get through it." And Batman kind of grappling hooking out. And Gordon saying, "I'm sorry for your loss." And Batman just kind of like being like, "Yeah, me too." And it's raining, so it's hard to tell, but it kind of looks like he might be crying. And I'm like, well, that's just fucking heartbreaking. And then the other one was a fan drawing, but they drew it perfectly. Like, it looks perfect. Of the classic cartoon-style Joker, the Mark Hamill Joker, holding Batman's cowl and cape and just crying and saying, "Goodbye, old friend." And I'm like, this is fucking depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a lot. Mark Hamill gave his tribute.
Beautiful.
Yeah, this is a person that isn't just missed by one generation.
No, it spans.
This is a person who
is the reason Batman is who it is today.
Yeah.
100%.
When people think of Batman,
they think of his voice.
This guy's been
even
doing
if they
it
don't
since
realize
the
it.
90s.
Yeah, even if people don't realize that that's the voice they think of. Yeah. They think of his voice.
There's only two people think of when they think of Batman. They think of his voice or they think of Christian Bale in person because he was the one that got the most movies.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Conroy is the voice of everything Batman from my childhood. Every show, every movie, every game, all the Arkham games that were super successful.
He did the games too?
Yes.
Yeah.
He did everything. There's only a few things that he wasn't the voice for in the in animation and in video games. So do we have to start figuring out who's going to be the next Batman voice? Of course we do. Batman doesn't go away. He's infinite. Did people need to start talking about it that day? No.
It's too early.
So that day was very strange for me in the sense of I had recently got Gotham Knights.
I want to play it so bad, but I don't have a PS5.
So, and fast forward a bit, if this is a spoiler to you, I feel like this is common knowledge for the game.
I'm assuming you're about to say Batman's dead.
Batman dies.
Yes, that's the premise of the game.
Of what game?
Gotham Knights. The Batman dies before you even start playing the game.
Yeah. So
you're playing as his four proteges.
Yeah, you're playing as the Bat family. You're not playing as him. But the intro is the cinematic of his death. I saw that and then got out the notification.
So it's your fault.
It's all your fault, bro.
So it's your fault.
If you would have never purchased that game,
are you fucking serious?
Does the government know?
You killed Batman. You bastard.
Don't say that.
You killed Batman. Quinn's never gonna forgive you.
You heard it here first.
He already knows. I like we were talking about it. It was the first thing. Like when he told me, I'm like, I know. I just watched it happen. He's like, what? I'm like, I got Gotham Knights and I just watched it happen.
You monster!
That's terrifying.
You didn't do anything to help him?
What could I do?
You could have skipped the cutscene.
It changed the outcome of the game, man.
Delete the save file. Delete the save file.
Delete it!
Oh man, that's tough. But yeah, so it's tough, man.
Yeah. But in the spirit of Batman, I got some things.
Okay.
I figured I'd just I feel like Daniel's gonna get all of these. So without looking anything up, I'm just gonna ask you some random Batman trivia. Just to see what we know, and for the people,
right?
By what we know, I mean Daniel's gonna know on the answer, so please give like a couple seconds so Salo has a chance to make
feel
up an
better
answer.
About myself. Thank you.
Just
I have a Batman and Robin tattoo. Leave me alone.
I know. You're a horrible human being. So. Let's go with who played Batman in the first live action Batman?
Ben Affleck.
Daniel, who played Batman in the first live action Batman?
Wait a minute. This man said Ben Affleck.
That was my genuine answer.
What?
That was my genuine answer.
What?
Did he not just mention one? He mentioned Christian Bale, which happened well before. You couldn't have at least said that one?
Not to mention Clooney, Keaton,
Ooh.
or the person most people think the answer is Adam West, but he wasn't first. The first one was Lewis Wilson.
That's correct. Lewis Wilson.
1924? 23?
I don't. So, had to have been.
Or was it 43?
It had to be in the 40s.
It might have been 43.
Had to have been the 40s.
Yeah. Lewis Wilson. He was the very first one.
I say that.
It was a black and white movie.
because when did Batman first appear?
Ooh. That was...
Salo, don't say a date that doesn't start with a 1.
1845.
You're actually closer than I ever would give you credit for.
It's after the potato
And
famine.
that's because you
So it was
2000.
It was Detective Comics number 1. Which was
18.
No. 1939?
Oh, okay.
I don't know the month.
Oh, no, I don't need you to give me that.
Okay.
No,
Like you're sitting here like, uh-huh. And I'm like,
Well,
I don't know the month.
I was doing that because you I was like, is he going to say a different date? The way you said 1939, it was just like that was 1939, so it must have been 1938. It's like, no, that was the first. No, that's wrong.
Okay. Yeah, like it was Detective Comics number 1, and then I was like 1939, and you just went.
Okay, I got one.
Month?
I think Salo can answer.
Okay.
Batman operates in what fictional city?
Batmobile. Fuck! No! I'm sorry.
Please
Gotham
name
City.
a city. Thank you. Thank you.
I thought you were going to say he operates
Where does Nightwing operate out of, Salo?
the Bat Cycle.
What city does Nightwing operate out of, Salo?
Arkham City.
Brett? Do you know?
Did this man just say
He did.
Arkham City?
He did.
What is Arkham?
No. Do you know where Nightwing is, Brett?
I don't remember where he went when he joined the Spec Ops. He was agent.
No, not when he was Agent Grayson. When he was Nightwing.
Because outside of that, it should have been Gotham City still.
Bloodhaven.
Oh, yes, right next to Connecticut. Bloodhaven.
Moving on. What else you got, Brett?
Okay.
Look, Salo got one.
Who played Two-Face in the movie Batman Forever? Salo, first question. Have you seen the movie Batman Forever?
All right.
Okay, Daniel.
So,
who played Two-Face in the movie Batman Forever?
Tommy Lee Jones.
Yes.
That was also the one where Jim Carrey was the Riddler.
Really? That's John... Okay. Huh. Yeah, I didn't see that one.
All right. Salo. Who directed Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice that came out in 2016?
2016?
Who directed that movie? It's the Batman you referenced.
Ben Affleck. Directed by Ben Affleck. No?
No.
Harvey Weinstein?
No. What?
I'm going through all the directors I know in my head. I don't know who.
Zack Snyder.
Oh, I feel dumb now. Yeah, you're right. I heard about it.
Yeah.
I did know that for the record.
I know you knew that. Okay. All right, now this one's for you, Daniel.
Okay.
Because I know he doesn't know it.
Okay.
Who directed the movies Batman and Batman Returns?
Tim Burton.
Yes.
The Tim Burton from Nightmare Before Christmas?
Yes. Yes.
Let's see. Oh, how is Batgirl related to Alfred?
Am I allowed to answer?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, he's not going to give anything, I guess.
Niece?
Yes.
Okay.
Dude, you could have guessed.
I wasn't sure if I was allowed to answer yet. I'm sitting here waiting on Salo.
And I'm over here.
Then you started the Jeopardy theme. I'm like, am I supposed to be answering?
We need a buzzer.
No, we don't. I will always buzz in before you, Salo.
Any other?
I need to find something that he might be able to get.
You gave him one. Gotham City.
I got 1 point. That's all I need. I advanced to the last round.
But I feel like you've gone negative 16 cents.
I do, but I got 1 point, so I'm going on to the next round.
That's not how that works. We're past that round.
It does in Arkham City, my friend. It does. Asylum. I know.
Okay. Salo. What was the first movie to star Michael Keaton as Batman?
So the answer, you see, Brett, thank you for asking such a great question. So what we've come to realize is that in the trepidation of moving forward to answering your question, one has to observe first how the question is structured. So my answer, therefore, must be the one with Ben Affleck. Or is he just not in any Batman movie at all? Am I just completely wrong?
He's not
here?
in any solo Batman movie.
Okay.
What? This isn't about him. This is about Michael Keaton.
As Batman.
What was the first movie to star Michael Keaton as Batman?
Michael Keaton's Batman Forever.
He still got it. Brett, may I?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
It would be the 1989 film Batman.
Batman. Call Batman.
I could have just shut the fuck up in the middle of my sentence. And I would have got it right.
Come on, man. It's Batman.
I'm going to get a Batman tattoo, guys.
Why? You don't know anything about him. Look, here's the fucked up part, Brett. Man said Batman Forever. That's one of the ones that doesn't have Michael Keaton.
I know. All right, I know.
Because Michael Keaton was Batman and Batman Returns.
Well, what I'm learning is I don't think he knows who Michael Keaton is.
I don't. Yes.
All right, Salo. Did you see the new Spider-Man movies?
Yes.
All right, all of them?
Yes.
All right, the first one, Homecoming,
Yeah.
Vulture.
He's Michael Keaton?
Feel the genuine confusion on this man's face.
What?
Oh my!
Interesting. I'm completely wrong. I did not think he looked like that.
Oh man. Okay. All right.
What else you got, Brett?
Okay. All right. Salo. What is the name of the insane asylum in Gotham City?
Arkham City. Arkham Asylum. Arkham Asylum. Arkham Asylum. Fuck
Give
you
it to
both.
him. Give it to him. Just give it to him.
Ding, ding, ding. 2 points. Moving on to the last final round.
I made that question up. I made that one up. I wasn't finding any
That's
that
a
are
point and a
easy enough
half
for him.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Thank
Any
you
more,
for
Brett?
observing a moment of silence with us.
I don't know if that's right.
What?
Arkham Asylum?
Maybe it is. Batman's first appearance was in which Detective Comics?
Hold on. It was Detective Comic 27?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
No, you'd be right.
Okay. Okay.
You would be correct. Okay. I mean, this is. You know what? Now I'm skipping this one
Okay. Why?
because he's definitely not going to get that one.
Okay.
He would have to have seen it in order to get it, and I know he hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, buddy.
So I'm going to move on to something that is general knowledge to people that know Batman. Should be general knowledge. Who broke Batman's back?
Bane.
Salo?
Oh, shit!
God.
That's the Batman movie I saw. Yes. That's all I got for you. Bane. Yep. That's it.
I mean, it got him the right answer. It got him the right answer.
Yep.
I'm at least
He
up
made
to
it
2
worse
points.
afterwards, but
I got at least 2 points, guys.
that was so hard. Brett, you saw my face, right? All right.
Yep.
What was the one he was going to get wrong?
Oh. In The Killing Joke, who was shot?
Oh.
Oh, hold on, because
Yeah?
I see.
Solo?
I've
Yeah.
seen that. So hold on.
You've seen The Killing
The
Joke.
detective. That detective got shot. No. Yes. No. The detective.
What
No?
detective?
The main detective got shot.
Detective who?
Gordon? The main guy. No? Is it not a
All right, well,
detective
there
that
we
got
go.
shot?
The main guy would be the wrong answer because it was the girl, Barbara
It's a
Gordon.
female that got, yeah.
His
she got
daughter.
shot.
Yes.
His daughter. Ah, man. I seen that movie,
That's
too.
how
The
she got
animated one.
paralyzed.
It was actually a very good movie.
It's based on a comic.
Yeah, I know. I have the
That's how
comic
she.
somewhere.
That's how she got paralyzed.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, Salo. What is the villain alias of Edward Nygma?
The
So for
Does
for
it start with
instance-
Yes.
For instance, yes.
the Joker? Is that a good smile, Daniel, or a sad smile, Daniel?
The answer is the Riddler.
Riddle me this.
Oh, that was a sad
Because
smile.
his name is Enigma.
Dang, Enigma, A.E. Riddle. That makes sense.
Nygma.
As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, I am not the fan of Batman that I thought in my heart that I was.
What did you think you were?
I thought I was.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Salo. What is the name of the rehabilitation center in Gotham City?
Oh, I don't know that one, boys. Nope.
Arkham Asylum.
That's why I just looked down because that was just rude.
So I'm gonna cancel my tattoo appointment for Batman
Oh,
tattoo.
man.
Good idea.
So on this episode, I decided I'm not getting a Batman tattoo. I just wanted to tell everybody, all my followers and subscribers, because it's a very important decision I just made. I'm not a fan.
Okay.
Okay.
Any
I
other
got- I do
questions?
have a question. What is Joker afraid of?
No Batman.
Okay.
Not having Batman.
I'll accept that answer.
That's a good answer.
I'll accept that answer.
Yeah. I mean, that's not the answer, but I would accept that
Yeah.
answer. He's
I'll
afraid
accept
of
that
not
answer for
having
sure.
Batman. Yeah. The answer would be he fears nothing.
Yeah, okay.
But
No, he does fear something. He fears being forgotten.
Really?
That's been stated. It's like when he
has
got
been
hit with
stated?
Scarecrow's fear toxin. It was that Batman forgot who he was. He is afraid of not being memorable.
But it was nothing specific.
No, it was canon that his
Yeah.
biggest fear was being forgotten.
Really?
Interesting.
That's the Joker's biggest fear.
That makes sense.
Yeah, all he lives for is notoriety.
And Batman.
It's weird to think that Batman's like the only thing that like keeps his narrative really going.
Without a Batman, there's no one to...
Well, so a lot of people don't realize that the Joker wasn't supposed to be a big villain.
No.
The Joker died in his first appearance. He was supposed to be a one-off. But he died, like, in a way where you didn't know for sure that he died. Like, he got buried in rubble, or he fell in a toxic vat, or something like that. And then he was so popular, they brought him back, and they kept doing it. And his first, 50 appearances, he died at the end of the comic. But he escaped death somehow. He's like Kenny from South Park.
Just always is going to be alive.
And then he became Batman's true arch nemesis. But at first, he was just supposed to be a one-off character. And then people loved him so much that they just made him keep coming back and keep dying and coming back again. And then the one that made him serious, ironically enough, was The Killing Joke. And it was called The Killing Joke because for the first time, the Joker was actually responsible for a death. The death of Batgirl. Not of Barbara Gordon, but of Batgirl. I'm a Batman fan,
trivia
Salo.
was more so for
I
you,
can tell.
Salo, because I knew he knew all the answers.
Anywho.
Moving on.
Rest in peace, Kevin Conroy. You will be missed. Speaking of superheroes that have passed away, Black Panther 2 came out. It's a I saw it. It is basically a massive tribute movie to Chadwick Boseman.
Did you like it?
So I did like it
too.
I did like it, but the way I have told people my interpretation of it is very good, but very slow.
It's almost 3 freaking hours.
It is almost 3 hours, and it has less than a half an hour of action.
I had like a cup of coffee to get through that movie. I knew it was gonna.
It is very slow.
Yeah, I like it.
But it's
It was
good.
a good movie.
It's good. And it does good plot building, and when they did the action, it was good.
Yeah.
There just wasn't a lot of it. It was a lot of world building, and it was a lot of grief tackling. So, like, if you are somebody that's grieving a loss of somebody personal recently, do not go see this movie. It will break you. Because the first 3 minutes of this movie are tough.
The entire movie, I was like, dang, man.
But the tribute to Chadwick Boseman was beautiful. It was beautifully done. I think it's right there, if not maybe better than the tribute they did to Stan Lee.
You don't agree, Salo?
I didn't get to see that. I didn't know they did a tribute for Stanley.
Captain Marvel.
Okay.
Because that was his last movie. But they did what they could with the movie. It clearly wasn't what they had planned. They clearly had different plans going forward for Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther. They made the best out of a horrible real life scenario. Kudos to them for making a movie and not recasting him.
I think the parallels of the guy dying in the film and the guy dying in real life is just, it made the movie very, emotional for me.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, this dude's fucking dead. And those actors, actors are genuinely, whether this be for a character, those actors were genuinely paying respect to my man. That shit was crazy. It felt like a real tribute.
Yeah, it was a good movie. It was a good movie. It was just it could have been shortened by about an hour, and I would have been much happier.
Yeah, a whole hour. I agree with you.
I don't know why we keep going to these lengths of saying we need 3-hour-long movies. I am totally content with a 90-minute movie.
I almost didn't go because I was like, dang, 3 hours. I come home from work. I eat some food. I go see the movie. I come back and I go to bed. It's 3 hours. That's
So
my life.
my thing is movies that long are inconsiderate to people with small bladders.
For people who have to work the next day.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
not the people
if
who have to
you're-
work the next
no,
day, because you
no.
can go on a day off.
But Tuesdays is cheap AMC ticket night.
That's
So.
and that's being cheap. That's not what they're for. They want to make money. You want to be cheap. That's on you. People who have a small bladder can't help that.
Oh, poor baby. You can bring a cup.
Oh, I don't got a small bladder. I'm good.
Oh, you're good. I thought you were talking about yourself.
Oh, poor baby. You can get a second job.
Yeah.
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 Or quit your current job. It solves the
Yeah.
problem either way.
Free you up some time.
I
Yeah,
never
either
thought
get
of it
more
that
time
way.
or go get more bread. Either way, problem solved. It's like that. It's like that fucking. I saw a TikTok. It was if you had if I said here, flip this coin, heads you get $10 billion, tails you die. Would you flip it? I sat there and I'm like, fuck yeah, I'd flip that coin. I got a 50% chance that all my problems are solved, and I got a 50% chance that I win $10 billion.
You're crazy. Don't talk like that.
Fuck, either way, all my problems are solved. Like,
I would not flip it.
oh, I'd
Like,
flip.
Audience,
I'd flip that
if
in a
any
heartbeat.
of you and if any of you are ever having issues mentally, just know there are avenues you can seek help.
Flipping a coin's not the best choice.
Night
Do not flip a coin and make that decision. Talk to people.
Yeah.
toll-free hotline
Even
is
when you think you are
988.
alone.
Again, the toll-free suicide number hotline is 24/7 and it's 988.
Yep, that is correct.
Just wanted to throw that out there.
Let's see. I know I had a couple other things.
Wait, would you flip the coin, Brett?
Would I flip the
10
coin?
billion.
Probably. If we-
Damn, I'm one broke guy.
With a B?
Here's
With
the-
a B? 10 million with an M? I'd think about it.
I don't
10
care.
billion?
Fucking imaginary paper currency. I could care less. I'm gonna
It's
be
not
alive.
imaginary.
It's all the same. I would genuinely not flip it.
Oh, I would flip it
I
in a
would not.
heartbeat. Listen.
You see what happens to lottery winners, dude?
Oh,
Fuck
I do.
that.
I do.
Hell no.
I do. Listen, let me let you guys know
Heck
something
no.
now. If you get a phone call letting you know that I died flipping a coin for a 50-50 shot at $10 billion and I got it wrong, just understand I went out content.
Nobody invite this man to the Squid Games, please.
Oh, I would do Squid Games in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
Brett, would you?
No. And the reason I say
But you'd
no
flip a coin?
is because
Flipping a coin doesn't have an adversary that can make it harder for me.
exactly. There are a lot of unknown factors in something like Squid Games. With flipping a coin,
It's 50-50
as long as the
period.
coin's not rigged, it's not like some weighted coin or anything like that. Like, it's a 50-50 chance. In Squid Games, after you break up the fact that there's X amount of people, then there's the X amount of factors, and then there's like the rant. Like there's so much going into a Squid Game that like
It's too many factors. Whereas the coin is just
way too
50-50.
many factors.
It's drastically different. I'd do both, but I would definitely do the coin before I do the Squid Games.
Okay. I do neither. Fuck that. Thanks.
Shit, there are days where I'd flip a coin for a Klondike bar.
Not a Klondike bar, my dude. At least a Snickers.
I don't like Snickers.
What?
I don't like Snickers.
Brett, do you like Snickers?
I do.
Okay.
I'd rather
good.
have a Baby Ruth.
Baby Ruths are good though. They're just under. They're not really like the primary snack people know about.
Yeah, have you guys had the chocolate payday?
Yeah, I don't like it.
I haven't had the
You don't like
chocolate payday.
I'm not. So here's the thing.
Well,
I'll
if
eat a
if you
Baby
don't
Ruth,
like paydays, you're probably not gonna.
but I'm not big
like
on
the chocolate.
I'm not
one.
big on chocolate.
Yeah, no, I thought it was.
Not even milk
You know
chocolate,
what?
dark chocolate.
Not big on chocolate.
Real quick. Anyone who has happened to make it this far into the podcast,
Thank you.
just right now, just go down, type into the comments your favorite candy bar. Just tell us your favorite candy bar.
Yeah.
And if you're the one,
or candy
And
in general.
favorite candy in general.
Because some people don't like chocolate.
Yeah, some people they're like a Skittles guy.
I do like
you know.
Skittles.
But put your
Or
favorite
Sour
candy
Patch Kids.
in the comments.
what about those sour worms?
I'm curious to see
What?
how many people go in lines of
What's wrong with
chocolate
you?
as opposed to like something like fruity.
Sour Patch
or-
Kids are infinitely better than sour gummy worms. What?
Y'all can
Batmobile?
debate about that.
Fair. Oh my gosh.
I ain't touching that.
I'm
one.
not going to say any more comments until I speak to my lawyer.
So, Brett, something
Yep.
we said we would discuss. Let's talk about Overwatch 2 a little bit.
What's going on with Overwatch 2? I actually genuinely don't know.
Well, it's free.
It's free to play.
So I can download it right now? Well, not right now,
could.
but I can download it.
And that's
Sure
that's
could.
that's the big thing. That's the caveat to everything that is about to be said.
Okay.
Is it is free.
Yes.
For anyone gives any complaints, it's a free fucking game.
Daniel.
You kind of got to get over yourself a little bit. Because there's a lot of complaining about, oh, well, Overwatch 2 did this, and Overwatch 1 had it like this. And, oh, Overwatch 2 makes it like this now, and I don't like it. Then don't play it. There are a lot of complaints as if Overwatch 2 is forcing you to spend your money on things to not like it. It is a free fucking game. Shut up.
Overwatch 2 is not on Steam. That's crazy.
It's probably on Epic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay.
So yeah, there were people that were upset that they didn't have access to all the characters when they opened up the game. There were people upset by the way they do cosmetics and paying for them and how you acquire them and stuff like
How
that.
did you used to acquire the skins and the cosmetics?
So in Overwatch 1, everything was loot box fixated.
Like with
So
Which people didn't like.
some people didn't like, and that's fine. But you could get loot boxes regularly for free. Like very regularly. Every time you leveled up, you got a loot box.
I think I remember that. I played a little bit of it. Okay.
You could get loot boxes all the time playing that game. And then if you ever got duplicate items, you got currency. You could then spend that currency to get a specific item and not have to worry about the RNG. Now,
So theoretically, you could get everything in time without paying anything.
yeah, there are plenty of, I mean, other than buying the game.
I was going to say, other than what,
Yeah,
the $60
outside of buying the game.
I
$60?
think by the
Because-
time Overwatch 1 was coming to an end, it was like 30.
Oh, okay.
But
You know, if you went out, you bought Overwatch 1,
Yep.
$60, and then all the other content you could theoretically get by just playing the game.
and you had 5 years to do it. More than that. 8 years. Hold on.
It's been quite a while.
It's been 8 years since the first Overwatch?
He's checking into that now.
That's crazy.
So, but the thing is that's changed, right? So Overwatch 2,
It's free.
they got rid of the loot boxes.
Over 6 years it's been out. May of 2016.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, you had 6 years, approximately, to get whatever you wanted. I can tell you right now, I had every skin I could possibly want for Soldier 76. I had a legendary skin for every character except the last 2 that came out because I stopped playing. I had gold weapons from when I played competitively. Like, if I wanted it, I had it. And it was fine. And then Overwatch 2 got announced.
I barely played and got stuff.
Yeah, Brett barely played and had cosmetics.
LOL.
And then they announced Overwatch 2. And then about 7 months before Overwatch 2 came out, they announced that Overwatch 1 would be shutting down upon Overwatch 2's release, and that Overwatch 1 files would get transferred into Overwatch 2. So Overwatch 1 would no longer exist. Now, for the people that are going to complain about that, well, that's not fair. I paid for a game. It should always exist. You paid for a game that has no offline mode. You knew that one day the servers would shut down. And if you didn't, you are not intelligent.
I did not know that. So they're going to just shut down the entire... It's gone.
You still technically have the game.
Yes.
Because if you had Overwatch 1, you now have Overwatch 2.
If you want it.
If you don't want to play it, then you don't want to play it.
Right, that's up to you.
But
interesting, okay.
All of your stuff from Overwatch 1 transfers over to Overwatch 2 as long as your account was linked.
Okay, that's perfect. Okay.
And they told people 6 months before Overwatch 2 came out, if your account's not linked, you have 6 months to link it, or you will risk losing your stuff.
So question, so if I've been playing that Overwatch 1 for 5 years or 6 years, and I have all these skins and everything would just transfer over?
You have it all in Overwatch 2.
So if I don't
as long as your account was
characters, linked. Yeah, that's cool. Okay.
As long as your account was linked.
All right. Okay.
You would have everything. I went into Overwatch 2 and had everything I had in Overwatch 1.
Is there a way to pay for the game, even though it's free, like getting skins,
So now, there are no longer loot boxes. There is a battle pass. If you get the battle pass, you get sprays and cosmetics and blah, 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 blah.
Excuse me.
And you can also buy skins in their item shop for currency, which is exchanged over from real money. It's basically another Fortnite now.
Oh.
Now, am I a fan of that system? No. I liked the loot boxes more.
Not to mention the amount of battle passes that exist now.
It's so many. Every game wants to have a battle pass, and it's too consuming to try and do them all. But that's not my issue. Because if I don't want to do the battle pass, I just won't do the battle pass. My issue with the battle pass is it doesn't pay for itself.
It doesn't.
I don't like that. So it costs 950 coins to get the battle pass. You don't get any coins back. Most games they have a policy. If you finish the battle pass, you will have earned enough back to get the next battle pass. Overwatch didn't do that with Season 1. Maybe they'll fix their ways. That is a major complaint that I will allow people to complain about. But switching to a battle pass, what are they supposed to do? It's a free game. They need to make money somehow. Switching to an item shop where skins have to be purchased, what are they going to do? It's a free game. They got to make money now. Now, are the skins too fucking expensive? Absolutely. I should not have to pay $20 for a skin that's barely okay. But I just won't do it. But people that are willing to waste money, they will. And Overwatch will make their money like that. But it's completely optional. Guess what the best part is? Cosmetics don't fucking affect anything. You can't even see them while you're playing.
Other people can, but you can't.
Right. It doesn't
first person.
matter.
It's not a third-person game.
It's a first-person shooter. It doesn't affect anything gameplay-wise. Everything about Overwatch 2 is the same or better than Overwatch 1 when it comes to gameplay. Now, it might not be what you like. Maybe they changed a character that got reworked and you don't like their rework and you want to bitch about that, and that's fine. That is not Overwatch 2's fault. That could have happened during Overwatch 1.
Yeah, it could have happened in Overwatch 1.
But people are mad because Overwatch 2 is a completely different game. Yes, it's a completely different game. Get over it. It's free. If you don't want to fucking play it, don't play it. But you can't be mad that Overwatch 1 is now officially dead. You bought a game that only has an online mode. No game servers last forever. The only reason Call of Duty can still be played from 8 years ago is because it has a fucking campaign.
Which is something that I've definitely had an issue with as the years have come on. It's like games that, even if they have a single player mode, they're dependent on
internet
being
connection
online.
Yeah.
You need an internet connection. Like, I just had this conversation at work. Somebody was talking about how they have the, like they were getting a physical copy of the new Pokemon. And like they like to get physical copies of all their games. And then they caveat it and they're just like, not that it actually matters. And someone was like, why? What do you mean? And it's like, well, I still have to download the game.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? Like, so you having the disc or you having the cartridge or whatever is now just a license.
What?
That is just you saying, yeah, it is a physical license.
Here's what's more irritating.
For the most part.
What's more irritating is I can buy the physical copy, put it in. I have to install the game, but now I also have to put the disc in for it to work.
Yep. Because that's your license. Your license isn't online, so that doesn't register with the system. You need to have the disc in.
Right.
Lame.
It's just an extra step.
It's a way game, like discs and everything are becoming obsolete.
That's the reason the PlayStation 5 has a discless version.
Yep.
That's how obsolete physical copies are becoming.
Eventually,
they'll be gone.
I imagine they're just going to be gone.
And I'm okay with it.
It sucks in the sense of collectors. It sucks in the sense of you need online connection to do things.
So,
like, it's just a requirement for
what they need to do, in my
that's
opinion.
Just the way things are moving.
In my opinion, what they need to do is you need an online connection to download the game. You do not need an online connection to play the game if it's not an online game. Once the game is installed, you should be able to play it. Period.
I guess the reason they do that is, hey, Daniel, can I have your CD now or can I have your disc?
Well, that's why you shouldn't have to install a disc. If you have the disc, you have the disc.
Oh, I see. Like OG style, basically.
And if you want to borrow my game, borrow my game.
Yeah. Yeah, if I paid for a license to something, it doesn't matter where I use it.
Right.
If it's mine, like I can use it, I can play it. Like,
and so here's the thing: licenses are becoming more and more stingy in every aspect. Like, let's talk about music. Like, as a streamer, I can't listen to music on stream because I'll get copyright flagged. I'm not trying to present this music as my own. I'm not trying to make money off of this music. Right. I just want to fucking listen to it. I pay a Spotify subscription. Why can't I listen to my fucking music?
It's a license you got. Yeah, you're paying for it.
It's dumb as shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I never understand it. If I was a musician, I would think I would want people to listen to my music on stream because that's just free advertising. Right? Because here's the thing.
I think it's
I would get it if we lived in a world where CDs were still the only way to listen to music.
Right.
It's not. Spotify, Pandora, iTunes, YouTube. Everything.
YouTube's like my biggest problem with it because anyone
can listen to YouTube. Anyone.
Yep.
Anyone.
Anybody.
I can listen to your music for free right now.
Now, if your music is not open sourced, if it can't be viewed on a platform like YouTube,
then totally understand it.
Makes sense.
100%.
It's like, oh yeah, the only way you have this is if you went and purchased it in a certain way that isn't accessed by everybody.
I've learned to live with it because you have to. Here's where it's the most frustrating. If the fucking music is in the game.
Are you kidding me? Is that a thing, Daniel?
Yes.
Like, if you're playing a game, it has a song that's copyrighted, could get your channel striked.
Yes.
What the fuck?
So, a lot of games nowadays are including what are called creator mode, where you enable creator mode in the settings menu, and then it will not play copyrighted music in the game.
That is dumb. That is dumb.
They're actually transitioning, like, a lot of games now to where it's like that music is replaced
with like royalty-free music.
With royalty-free music.
I guess the feature's cool, but that's dumb that they have to fucking find a solution for that, you know?
So there was a Fortnite event that had a song in the middle of it that was copyrighted. I had to mute my entire stream during the event so that I wouldn't get hit with a copyright strike because it didn't have a creator safe mode at that point. right now in Fortnite, there's about, I don't know, 50 to 100 emotes that have licensed music. And because I have creator mode on, people can just sit there and dance, and they're just dancing in silence for me because it doesn't play the music.
That's silly.
It actually looks kind of funny.
It looks funny, but it's also annoying because it's like, I want that emote. Or I'll see a new emote in the item shop, and I'm like, I wonder what it's playing. I don't know.
Who knows?
I just sit there in Gangnam Style in silence.
Did you guys hear, actually, that's being used against, like, people who, you know, like those police watch, you'll get it in a second, those people who watch police, like, and whenever they're making an arrest, they'll just be around with a camera making sure they're called, like, liberty audits or something. People just go around following police to make sure that they're being honest and not, you know, just giving you a ticket for no reason. What the cops...
So, I know... Mm-hmm. Oh, I know previously we've talked about how people were states were passing laws that people could not film police as they're being arrested or as they're being talked to. Is this different than that?
Yeah. So there are states where that's not illegal yet. Like, you can record police if they're on, if they're in the sidewalk arresting my neighbor. I can be at my house recording him.
As you should be allowed to.
As you should be allowed to. What the police have started doing is putting music on, because they know that these people would upload it to YouTube. So they would blare out music that they would know would easily be recognized by copyright strike. So that way they couldn't be exposed with being uploaded to YouTube. Obviously, it doesn't stop them from sharing the video, but a lot of police now do that.
It's different for YouTube because you can put it on YouTube and just demonetize the video.
Yeah.
So if there are people out there that are actually falling for that, then they're not actually reading what they can do on YouTube. You can put out we can put out reaction videos to new albums, and we just have to acknowledge the fact that that video is going to be demonetized.
Okay.
We can't make a monetary gain off of their music, but we can still post it. Twitch, you can't do that. Twitch, it's a live stream. It's different.
And so one way to think about it, if it is working, outside of the fact that people just don't understand what copyright means, it could speak to the fact that these people are not trying to be helpful. They're trying to make money off of
they're trying to get attention.
And so the moment that they're not going to be able to monetize their videos,
they don't care anymore.
What's the point? Now they don't care. They don't actually
care. And again,
about
that's just an assumption. There must be people out there who are doing it out of goodwill.
Some. That's why we're saying some.
No.
The people that are falling into this group.
I think it was more so having the ability to strike people just because the music. Like I said, I don't know YouTube, but I think the thing along the lines of the article I was reading is just putting it makes it harder just to even upload. It's not really the. Okay.
Yeah, okay. If they're having trouble uploading it,
there's something wrong.
Doing it right.
Moving on.
Something else.
Moving on.
But
generally,
that also speaks volumes to the fact of, why do we need these many loopholes for police to get out of being recorded? Just do your fucking job right.
Exactly.
Now, that being said, all of you pussyfooting dickheads that keep going up and instigating police to fucking yell at you, stop it. Stop arguing with them like they're not trying to do their job. You can't instigate somebody into fucking doing something and then be like, look what you did. You can't do that.
On the contrary,
there's problem.
Also reasonable times where you should be direct and a little bit more confrontative with the police. There are appropriate moments for that.
Direct and confrontative are different than antagonizing.
Right. But there's also a time. I agree with you 100%. There are those assholes who go around being specifically dicks to police, but there's also have been instances of it being healthy, like
Salo. If you get pulled over right now, cop walks up to your car. License and registration, please. Are you handing them your license and registration?
No, but that's not the point. I would hand them the registration, but I'm talking about different scenarios.
I thought you said no.
When people
I thought he was saying no too.
They're being pulled over, for example, and they're going to be arrested for something stupid, and that person doesn't.
if you're gonna get arrested for bullshit, say your piece. But if I walk up to your car as a cop, Salo, and I say license and registration, please, you're gonna hand me your license and registration, or you're gonna tell me no?
I'm gonna hand you the license and registration. Yep.
Okay. Now, do you see a difference between, sir, license and registration, please? Here you go, officer.
But those are not the scenarios I'm talking about, bro.
But
those are not the scenarios I'm even talking about.
But those are the scenarios I was talking about.
You're setting it up, so obviously I sound dumb.
That's what
I'm not even talking about that. I don't want to listen to you. We can just disagree.
You're not hearing what I'm trying to tell you, Salo.
Because you're trying to set it up slowly. Tell me what you mean.
I'm trying to.
Without my dialogue, tell me.
What I am saying is the people that antagonize for no reason walks up to a window. Sir, license and registration, please? Mm-hmm. No, I don't have to do that. You can't make me. You are antagonizing.
I agree. I agree with that.
Then why were you telling me that my point wasn't the same?
I wasn't. That's exactly what I was saying. I was saying that's not what I was saying, dude. I was just saying that I agree with you, but there are situations where at certain scenarios that I've seen, videos that I've seen where these people intervening and people getting arrested just by their presence, just by recording, there are opportunities where that is positive.
No,
I agree with you 100% that people, though, those type of people, I know the type of people you're talking about. They are the type of people to upload stuff into YouTube, monetize it, make money, and just literally just follow police around and be fucking stalkers. But I'm talking about like the once-off videos where you see someone genuinely intervening. Like, why are you arresting this man? What's going on?
Right.
Hey, sir, has he told you why you're being arrested? No. Do you know why you're being arrested? No. Officer, why are you arresting him?
Right,
there
and
are
that's
so
totally
many videos where the police just literally just like, okay, I don't know why we're arresting him, you know?
I'm not saying that that's not a thing. That's totally acceptable to do, but that's not what I was talking about.
Right. But I was including that in the dialogue. I was saying, I agree with you wholeheartedly, but I also wanted to bring that up because there are cases like that on YouTube that I've seen. That I think...
and those cases are fine. They're not antagonizing. They're confronting.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference. That's what I said.
Yeah, no, like I said, I agree with you. There are those types of people, but I also wanted to bring attention to the other videos that I've seen where there are positive situations like that, where confronting an officer the right way also can let some people get off, can be like, okay, this is really happening. We don't know why I'm getting a ticket. I'm not disagreeing with you. I agree. There's people like that on YouTube. There's people like that in general who are just dicks, who are going to be like, I don't want a license. I don't want to provide you anything. I'm a free citizen of I forget what they're called. The free citizen of the sovereign nation or some shit. Those people are dumb as shit. But I also think it's important, and it's
no, absolutely. I
think it's important to bring both aspects of like the dick, but there's also the hero. There's also
we already talked about the hero, and then I was calling out the dicks, and then you were like, "This isn't the same."
No, I guess I just wanted to also go back and focus back on that archetype because that is important. I don't think we focused on it enough.
So here's what just happened. Daniel, you were talking about the dicks, the people that are abrasive and aggressive
for no reason.
And then Salo brought up the people that are interjecting in a way that they're supposed to, which you both agreed, and then you came back and you just reiterated that these people need to stop. And I think there was a confusion that, like, the way you said that, you dejected his point.
I think so too. I
was trying to finish my point, and I wasn't allowed to.
What?
You guys would not stop saying the
same
thing.
You 100% cut me off in the middle of me trying to make my example.
I get at least one of those per episode. I'm sorry. I just intervened, but I think he's right. Like, we agreed. But I don't tend to intervene when you rant, but this is just the one time that I did. I think he's right. I think we just kind of wishy-washied. But I mean, this is the first time I intervened. I see those videos and there's just something to me, like I just want to bring attention to that, because there is complete assholes, but there's also that archetype of it being used in a positive, good way, you know?
Yeah. I do. I'm so confused right now.
It's okay. I think we agree to disagree. Or we agree to agree, because I don't think we've disagreed yet.
This is why there's confusion, Salo, because you say shit like that.
Well, I don't know what to say. I think, honestly, we both agreed on the same topics. I think I just interrupted you in the middle of a rant. So then you thought I was disagreeing with you, but I wasn't.
No, you told me you were disagreeing with me.
No, I didn't. I disagreed.
Yes, you did, Salo. You told me I don't agree. I don't want to hear your point.
No.
That's exactly what you said.
I interrupted you, but I think I did not side with you. I was just also bringing attention to something else.
No, Salo,
Yes.
you 100%. When I said I'm trying to make a point, you said I don't care what your point is. I don't agree.
No, I'm just saying it's just you. I don't know how to say it. It's just we got to focus also.
Did that
on the
not happen?
positive.
Am I having a stroke? Did that not happen? Am I having a fucking stroke?
It did, but it was when it happened that's the problem. And when it happened was in the middle of you two thinking that you guys were saying different things.
But I never finished saying what I was saying. I made part of my point and then got cut off. And then when I said, if you let me finish what I'm saying, I was told that...
But part of your point was making me engage in conversation with you to prove a point, which I guess also kind of made me want to interrupt and be like, let's not forget about these folks. Like, I understand you're trying to make a point, but it's also harder to make that point when you try to reel me into it and engage in conversation with me, because it just make me think and say stuff, Salo, what would you do if a police pulled you over? It's having someone else engaging in your point. While you're making a point, you're engaging in me.
Sure. Asking you, Salo, if you got pulled over and asked for your license and registration, are you going to hand it to them? Yes, I would. Okay. Now, in a completely different scenario, I don't care about that other scenario. Well, then my point never got made.
I think I cut you off before.
That's true, Salo. In that moment, you did keep cutting him off before he was saying that. That did happen.
Right. But it was the question going back and forth, like, what's your point? Like,
it wasn't a going back and forth. It was a one-time, would you hand him your license and registration? You said yes, and then I tried to tell you the other side of it, and you told me you didn't care.
I agree with that. I agree with that interpretation.
He was using you as a representative of a reasonable individual.
And then I was going to supply an example of an unreasonable way to handle things that warrants people treating you like a dickhead.
Alas,
you
never
were
got
the
that
example
far.
of you wouldn't let me.
I know. That's crazy, right?
Well, we do appreciate you guys for coming out and joining us on such an adventure. And we're gonna leave you with that that whole mess.
Nope.
Oh,
I have one more thing.
What?
You're
gonna have to make it snappy. We wrapping this up.
I know we are, and it's important.
A couple more hours.
I don't.
A couple more hours.
I wanted to end the podcast on this.
Yep.
So, for anybody that doesn't know, Salo and Brett do. Today, November 18th, is 5 years since my dad passed away. It is a hard day. It's a difficult day. I didn't reschedule the recording. There was no reason to. My dad would want me to continue doing the things that I enjoy doing.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I bring this up is because on days like this, I like to remind people of one thing. So, for everybody listening, anybody that you haven't told, for whatever reason in the past couple days, whether you've just been busy, whether you got in an argument, whether you told them yesterday and you just don't feel like telling them again today. If you have somebody you want to tell that you love them, tell them you love them. Tomorrow is never guaranteed. My dad passed away out of nowhere. True story. When my dad passed away, the day before, he had texted me. Or he had tried to call me. I missed his call. And I texted him and asked him if it was important. He said, no worries. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Just thought of a funny joke. And I never got to find out what that joke was. That could have been the joke that made my career as a comedian. You never know if tomorrow is guaranteed. On your end or on theirs. So, tell somebody you love them. Whether you've been in a fight, whether everything's been on the gravy train, whether you told them 20 minutes ago, just tell somebody you love them.
Absolutely.
They might need it just as much as you do. That's all I wanted to end this on. I think it's important.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I agree, and I appreciate you guys. I always have fun here, and definitely.
I'm glad I brought a beer.
I'm glad you did too.
There's probably going to be a conversation after this recording's over.
But nonetheless, salute to the people that are not here with us anymore.
Salute.
To all of you that are watching, thank you guys. Brett, take us out.
We appreciate you. I hope you appreciate us.
You don't.
We've been beyond us, and we're out. Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Like, subscribe, hit the bell.
Hey, you actually said bell this time.
Yeah.
So I know you guys probably thought the podcast was over.
It was.
It's because it was. Yes. But yesterday, we received some news, and we wanted to get this out as soon as possible.
Yeah, we didn't want to let it sit for 2 weeks until the next recording.
Yeah. We've unfortunately done that in the past, and we're trying to be better at that. And this is part of that attempt. So yesterday, November 20th, another hero passed away.
Yeah. Jason David Frank. Most people probably know him as Tommy Oliver from the Power Ranger universe.
Green Ranger, White Ranger, Black Ranger,
Red Ranger, multiple time Red Ranger.
The Power Ranger.
Yeah, like that. I mean, that's everybody has their own favorites, but at the end of the day, Tommy Oliver was the Power Ranger, and Tommy Oliver wouldn't have been what he was without JDF.
And that's just, how a lot of us knew him as a kid.
Yeah.
He was also a very talented MMA fighter.
Insanely talented.
And yeah, he's passed away at 49. The news broke yesterday.
Yep.
Surprisingly enough, TMZ is the one that broke this coverage. The family was trying to... I guess it's not that surprising.
No, it's not.
The family was trying to keep this kind of close to home, keep it private. They still have not released the official cause of death, but from a source trusted to TMZ, they've reported that it's a suicide.
Which is really sad.
Yeah.
I mean, death of anybody is sad. Accidents and murders. I mean, it wasn't long ago that one of the Migos was shot. Death for anybody is sad, but especially with things like suicide, because it's such a permanent answer to temporary issues. Things
Regardless of how it feels in the moment.
Yeah, things in life will always go up and go down. It's part of life, and in those lows, it's hard. But unfortunately, something like this is such a permanent resolution to it. And it's just I don't know a lot about what was going on in his life. I do know that earlier this year, his wife filed for divorce. I'm pretty sure recently they just finished filming his last Power Ranger thing. Because they're doing Legend of the White Dragon, where he's like the bad guy.
Yeah, they've been working on that for a while.
And maybe that wrapping was kind of like a trigger, because that was kind of like the end of an era for him. I don't know. But it's really sad, man. And like, he was my favorite Power Ranger. Like,
Yeah.
like not even
Yeah.
close.
No.
I
I mean,
I stopped watching Power Rangers and then started again when he came back for Dino
yes.
Thunder.
Yeah, when I found out that he was in Dino Thunder,
I
was
started
invested.
watching Power Rangers again.
Like, and this, I mean, it was nothing to take away from the show itself. Like,
I just
it
outgrew
had
it.
aspects that were, yeah. I mean, it had aspects that were fun, but
Yeah,
to see him come back and just like, I don't know, he just did it right.
Still be that guy, right? And then he had
Now,
a
I
little
know-
cameo in the most recent movie, the rebooted movie. And that
Yeah.
was such a nice little shout out to him having that cameo. I don't know, man. It's just sad.
Now we say these things because we're fans, of an art that he did,
Right.
A show that he did. That's not to take away that he was more than that.
No, for
As
sure.
everyone is. We just didn't necessarily know that side of him.
Yeah, we don't know him personally, but everything I see,
it's like,
have seen says he was a role model.
Right. I haven't heard anything bad about this man.
I've never heard a negative thing about him. Other than he goes a little hard in the paint when he's fighting, he kind of ruthless. I heard that complaint.
That's to be expected.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
But
obviously, we're not reporters. We don't have sources. We can take what the internet gives us, and as it stands, no official cause of death. TMZ is reporting that it's a suicide. No matter what, it's a sad situation.
yeah.
And our thoughts go out to his family and his friends and his fans. I mean, losing a celebrity is hard on people too. If it's somebody that you really admire. I think the important thing here is that it goes to show you that suicide is something that can affect anybody. And we should know that by now because it's the reason Robin Williams isn't here anymore. And Robin Williams was one of the most successful people ever. But it's a disease. It's a mental illness that doesn't just go away because you've got good things going on. And I think it needs to be acknowledged more.
I know that nowadays there's a lot of people that vie for attention.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that claim things that don't affect them. Anxiety, depression,
Yep.
suicidal thoughts. There is a lot of attention garnering. But even if we think that might be what it is, it doesn't hurt to take a second and talk to the people around you.
Yeah, if the people around you know you, they're going to know if you're being serious.
Yeah.
And trust me, if anybody knows that there can be a negative stigma when it comes to mental health, it's the guy that got disregarded in the military because of it. There's stigmas with it, and I totally understand that, but you have to trust somebody to be there for you when you need them. We've said it before, we'll say it again. If you need to ask for help and you can't go to the people that are in your life for whatever reason, whether it's because you don't want to put that on their plate or whatever it may be, maybe you don't have anybody in your life that you trust at the moment, you can always pick up the phone and dial 988. They are available 24/7. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It is their job to be there to help you through that moment.
And I've heard things, well, you know, they're doing it for a paycheck. They don't actually care. People don't choose that job because they don't care.
No.
It's not a job you want to be a part of.
It's too stressful.
It is. If you think your friends don't want to hear about the issues that you have going on, imagine what it's like for a stranger.
Right.
The people that are there, they're there because they want to help.
And because they're probably pretty good at it.
Yeah. And that's not to say the people around you don't want to help, but they might not know.
Yeah. So that's the other thing. You know, you have to be willing to talk about it. That's the first step. And it's the scariest step. No one is going to take that away from it. It is the scariest step, is asking for help. But once you take that step, everything else is going to start to fall into place, and you just kind of have to slide the pieces to where they belong. It's important.
Yeah. There are avenues, regardless of your financial situation. Obviously, if you can afford to seek professional help,
then do it.
So.
Yeah.
There is no investment like investing in yourself.
No, not at all. But
you'll find it's worth it. We're not going to harp on this too much longer.
No, but we wanted to discuss it. We didn't want to let it simmer for 2 weeks and then it not be prevalent.
Right. If we find anything else out, the actual official cause, you might find it before us, but we'll let you know as soon as we find that out.
Absolutely. And so for me, all I have to say, leaving it off, is JDF, we loved you. Everybody that ever saw Power Rangers loved you. There's just no question about it. We'll miss you. And we hope that this horrible scenario maybe can have, in a weird, twisted way, some good come out of it, where people realize it's okay to ask for help. If people use this as a learning experience, then that's all we can hope for. If you need help, ask for it, please. That's all I got.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.